Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lab 3 of ARGO CD. Let's remind ourselves of the requirement. We're going to install ARGO CD, and we're going to actually create an app. We'll report forward so we can get to the UI. Then you're going to define an app based on a backend Git repo, and that will not sync automatically. We'll make it sync, and then we'll do a similar one for auto sync. When we left off on Lab 2, we had gotten to step by the way, all of these instructions are written out step by step in this repo that I created, and that you will see that in the description. So when we left off in Lab 2, we had done up to step 18, port forwarding. That means Argo CD was already installed on the cluster. There was a service running that we were going to hit, and we created sort of a link to our local port on the Mac to that service. We had already done that. So now we're going to get the admin password, because when we hit it, we're going to need the password to get in. So let's get the admin password of the service, Argo CD service. All right, that is the password. All right. So now that we're going to get the IP address so we can hit it. All right, let's do that. This is the service, and we took out some of the other services by grepping them out, but this is the IP address that we care about. All right, because this is the external IP of that service that we created in Lab 2 of load balancer type. That's how we can get to that. All right, so we got the IP address. Now we log in. To log in, now there's two logins. There's login through CLI, and there's login through UI that you will also see. So the reason we need the IP address, because we're going to log in first through CLI. So Argo CD login, blah, 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 IP address. So Argo CD, that's the CLI, and the IP address is the external IP of that service, Argo CD service. All right. And that's it. That's the whole command. We'll just give the admin and password Argo CD. That's fine. We don't have a certificate. Admin is the username. Password is this long string. Now we're authenticated through CLI. We can run Argo CD command against this. We can confirm this by running. It basically got this message in saying we logged in, right? You see the message here. That means we logged in. All right. We're not going to change the password because this is a temporary lab. I'm going to destroy everything after I'm done. Now, we need to find a repo that has some kind of code, right? Easiest thing to do, you can just copy mine. All it does is it runs an Nginx service, nothing else. Very simple Nginx pod. That's all it does. So let's, for our purposes, we're going to use this is basically, think of this as your application that's running somewhere else in some other repo, right? And in our case, it's simple, but in the production case, it'll be a complicated app that has a whole bunch of stuff, maybe a Helm chart, what have you. But that will be our source of truth for the application. Whenever a developer make a change into that repo, that will get propagated into the infrastructure. That's the whole idea, right? Okay, now we're going to add an app into Argo CD's configuration. So our Argo CD app, and I will explain that all in a minute here. So Argo CD, create an app and give it this name from this repo. And in that repo, you can create app directly from the main directory or a certain subdirectory. In my case, I put in a subdirectory called Nginx deployment. Destination server, that is the namespace service that we already defined. We do that. Let's see what happens. It is created. I ran out of time. This was lab 3 of Argo CD. I will see you in lab 4 of Argo CD.